Hello students and welcome to this lab. In this lab we are going to discuss the 11.3, the first output, right, which is function pointer to function. Now in this video we are going to see pointers to function, right? So see, because function is also a data type, right, and pointer can point to any data type, so pointer can also point to a function, right? And function is one kind of a data type. It also have a memory location, right? So C doesn't require that pointers only point to data. It is also possible to have pointer to function. So we can assign the function's address to a pointer, right? So functions, it occupies memory locations, so every function has an address. So every function in C, whatever function you are writing, it always have an address, and it is possible to store the address of that function into a pointer, right? So we can use function pointers in much the same way as we use pointers to data. So passing a function pointer as an argument is fairly common. So generally inside function also we pass function pointer as an argument, right? Now, what is the syntax for declaring pointer to a function, right? So the syntax for declaring pointer to a function is uh, this is of type uh, star of fptr, right? So the syntax for declaring pointer to a function is type and in the bracket star of fptr and then the bracket. अगर यहाँ पर suppose मैं integer लिखती हूँ int और फिर यहाँ पर ब्रैकेट में लिखती हूँ स्टार fptr, so यहाँ पर ब्रैकेट होना कंपलसरी है. अगर हम ब्रैकेट नहीं लिखेंगे and if I am writing integer star fptr, that means what? It is a function returning a pointer, right? तो यहाँ पर ब्रैकेट कर रहे हैं, इसका मतलब क्या कि it is a pointer to a function. So here this bracket is compulsory, right? So if I'm writing like this tells the compiler that fptr is a pointer to a function which returns type value, right? तो ये डिक्लेरेशन का मतलब क्या कि fptr एक पॉइंटर है जो ये टाइप वैल्यू जो भी फंक्शन रिटर्न कर रहा है उसको वो पॉइंट कर सकता है, मतलब इट इज कैपेबल ऑफ पॉइंटिंग, स्टिल इट इज नॉट पॉइंटिंग, right? So the parentheses around fptr are necessary. For example, we can write down void and then star of fptr and in the bracket end. तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि this function pointer, this is one pointer, it can point to such functions whose return type is void and which is having one integer argument, right? So here here this function name will be fun fun underscore ptr, right? So here this function pointer, this is the name of the pointer, this is just a variable name, just remember that this is a variable name. So here function pointer can point to any function whose return type is void and which has only one argument of type int. It can point to any function whose return type is void and it has got one argument as int, right? So let's see with an example so that it will be more clear to you. So here you can see we have declared a function pointer. We have declared a function pointer, so we have written void. In the bracket, I have written star function underscore ptr, and inside this bracket I have written int. Now here why this brackets are compulsory? अगर मैं यहाँ पर bracket नहीं लिखूंगी तो इसका मतलब क्या कि this is a name of the function and it is returning void star, which it is returning a void pointer. So void pointer is also one concept which you will learn in dynamic memory allocation, right? So you can have void pointers also, we can have integer pointer also, character pointer also. अगर यहाँ पर integer star होता, so it is integer star, so it is returning an integer pointer. This is the name of the function and it is returning an integer pointer. It means like that, right? So that's why here this brackets are compulsory. Here we have to compulsory write down this brackets, right, around star of function underscore fptr, right? So here what we have done, we have declared a function pointer, Now function underscore ptr is equal to address of function, right? So here you can write down this address operator, or you may omit it. Then also, if you omit this address operator, then also it will work. Then also it will work, right? So जैसे name of the array is a constant pointer to its base address, similarly name of the function is also the address of the function code, right? Name of the function is also the having the is also storing the address of the function code. So here when I'm writing पहले पहले जब हमने लिखा void star of function pointer int, तो इसका मतलब क्या कि this function can point to any function whose return type is void and who is having a single argument as integer, right? But अभी भी function pointer किसी को point नहीं कर रहा है, right? In this statement I am allocating this function pointer variable to some function of name fun. तो अब यहाँ पर देखो function pointer I can just write down fun underscore ptr equal to address of fun, right? So address of fun is the name of the function, right? So now fun underscore ptr, now fun underscore ptr is pointing to this function. पहले यहाँ पर हमने सिर्फ फंक्शन को डिक्लेयर किया, फंक्शन पॉइंटर को डिक्लेयर किया, और यहाँ पर हमने फंक्शन पॉइंटर को इनिशियलाइज किया विद दिस फंक्शन. तो अब आप देखो ये फंक्शन जो है, ये फंक्शन का रिटर्न टाइप क्या है, वॉइड है. सो इट इज मैचिंग विद दिस. एंड ये फंक्शन में आर्ग्यूमेंट क्या है, इंटीजर ए. सो हियर आल्सो इट इज मैचिंग दिस. सो इट कैन पॉइंट टू दिस फंक्शन fun, राइट? अब अगर मुझे ये फंक्शन को कॉल करना है, सो आइदर आई कैन कॉल fun ऑफ 10, तो मैं डायरेक्टली fun ऑफ 10 कॉल कर सकती हूँ, दिस इज विच इज अ नॉर्मल फंक्शन कॉल, or I can call it with the help of a function pointer. So what I can write star of function underscore ptr, and in the bracket I am writing 10. So with the help of function pointer I am calling this function, right? I can call the function in two ways. I can either call the function like this, fun inside bracket 10, right? मैं या तो fun inside bracket 10 कर सकती हूँ, right? I can call the function like this. So if I run this code, here you can see, sorry, here, okay, I have to use semicolon here. Okay, so if I run this code here, you can see the value of a is 10. So here this 10 value is getting passed to a, and the value of a is just printed, right? So this is a normal function call. But if I want to call a function with the help of function pointer, what I can do, I can just write down star function underscore fptr, and inside this bracket I can write down 10. So I'm calling this function, right? And if I run this code, again the value of a is equal to 10 will be printed, right? Similarly यहाँ पर अब देखो, यहाँ पहले इस वाले केस में क्या था, सिर्फ एक ही फंक्शन था. अब इस वाले केस में क्या है, देयर आर टू फंक्शंस ऑफ द सेम रिटर्न टाइप एंड सेम इन आर्ग्यूमेंट. मतलब ये फंक्शन में भी इंटीजर a है, ये वाले फंक्शन में भी इंटीजर b, इट इज हैविंग वन इंटीजर इनपुट आर्ग्यूमेंट. तो ये फंक्शन पॉइंटर जो है which I have declared here, this function pointer can point to this fun also, and it can point to this fun1 also, right? तो in short सिर्फ आप ये कंसेप्ट समझिए कि फंक्शन पॉइंटर जो है, फंक्शन पॉइंटर कैन पॉइंट टू एनी फंक्शन whose return type is void and whose input argument is a single integer. अगर यहाँ पर मैं यहाँ पर फंक्शन पॉइंटर में यहाँ पर अगर मैं एक और इंटीजर लिखती हूँ और यहाँ पर भी मैं एक और इंटीजर सपोज डिफाइन करती हूँ, देन आई कैन पॉइंट टू fun बट नॉट विथ fun1. ठीक है? सो जो भी फंक्शन पॉइंटर आप लिखो यहाँ पर, it should match with this functions, then and then that function pointer can point to this function, right? So now if you write down fun, I'm assign, पहले हमने यहाँ पर क्या किया, we have just declared the function pointer. Now I am assigning the address of this function to this function pointer. Now I am calling this function, right? So I am calling the fun function. अब मैं क्या कर रही हूँ कि function pointer को अब मैं fun1 को point करवा रही हूँ. So I am writing function pointer equal to address of fun1. So now it is pointing to this function. Now if I call this function, then this value will be called, and the value of b is equal to 20 will be printed. Here the value of a is 10 will be printed. So if I run this code, value of a is 10, value of b is 20. Now, if I want to omit this address operator, then I can do that, right? So if I'm right here, this code is like this. So here what I have done, I have removed this address operator. This function and this function are same. Only thing is here I have removed this address operator, and here I have also removed this star. So I can also remove the star. So here I can just write down function ptr and in the bracket 10. Right? So here what I have done, we have first declared a pointer to a function. We have first declared a pointer to a function, then we have written function underscore ptr equal to fun, right? And then we are calling function underscore ptr inside bracket 10. So instead of this, I'm just writing function ptr and in the bracket 10. So I'm just writing the name of the function and I'm passing the arguments. So it will automatically call this function and this value will be printed. Again, I am reassigning this function pointer to another function fun1, and I am calling the other function fun1 by using this. So fun underscore ptr of 20. So again, this value will be called. So if I run this code, here you can see the value of a is 10 and the value of b is 20 is getting printed, right? So I can do in this way also, and I can do in this way also. This one is much easier. This method is much easier as compared to this method. Okay. Similarly, if I am writing here, यहाँ पर देखो ये दो स्टेटमेंट है. यहाँ पर मैंने क्या किया है, फंक्शन पॉइंटर को पहले डिक्लेयर किया है और फिर मैंने फंक्शन का एड्रेस अलोकेट किया है. तो मैंने डिक्लेरेशन और इनिशियलाइजेशन सेपरेट लाइन में लिखा है. If I want to merge this line, I can do that with the help of this. So I can write down void star of function underscore ptr integer is equal to address of 1. Here I can omit this address also. That is also fine. So I can just write down like this. Right? So what I have done, I have declared a function pointer, and at the same line I have initialized the function pointer. So if I run this code, here you can see the value of a is 10 is getting printed. So I can do declaration of function pointer and initialization of function pointer all in one line also, right? So returning back to our program of the practical list. So here this is given. So here you can see we have declared one pointer function. So we have written void and in the bracket star of function underscore ptr and empty bracket. So this function pointer is capable of pointing to any function whose return type is void and who is having some empty arguments, right? So this is the declaration of pointer to function. Now we are writing function underscore ptr equal to display. So display, we are now, first we have declared the pointer to a function. Now we are assigning the address of this function to function underscore pointer. So as I've already explained, you can either write down address of display or you can just write down display. You can just write down the name of the function or you can write down the address and then the name of the function, right? And then I'm writing printf address of function display is %u and then function underscore ptr. तो ये display का जो भी address होगा वो यहाँ पर display होगा. As you are aware, addresses are always of type unsigned integer. So whenever you are writing %u, it will be printing that address, right? And then we are calling this function. So we are just writing star of function underscore ptr and in this bracket, right? Instead of this, I can omit this star also, right? So this function call has happened, and by helping others, we can help ourselves. So here you can see by helping others, we help ourselves is printed, and address of function display is 4199287. That is also getting displayed, right? So here instead of this, you can just write down like this also. If you want to call this function, you can just write down the name of the function pointer and then the empty bracket. So this is also completely valid and it will print the same result as it has been printed, right? So I hope you have understood the concept of pointer to function. Thank you so much for watching this video.